King Richard is a new Warner Brothers movie that released on HBO Max in theaters, and I watched it on HBO Max. To be honest, this film I was never going to see in theaters. It's not a movie I would ever really watch if I didn't already promise you guys to review every single HBO Max movie that released in theaters day and date. And I think Matrix is the last one in December, so I think we only have one left. I'm not really sure, I can't remember, but regardless, this movie was not a movie I would watch. And the reason why is I don't like Will Smith in these types of roles. Basically, Will Smith is trying to do this thing where he's trying to be seen as a dramatic actor in the last few years and get Oscar nominations. And he shouldn't do that. The reason why is because he's not a dramatic actor and he can't be seen as one. Because most people just see Will Smith. You know what I mean? Like, it's like The Rock, okay? The Rock is not ever going to be seen as anything more than The Rock. And so, like, him trying to be anything more than The Rock is just, like, dumb because it's never going to go anywhere. And people might try to argue with me about this point, but the fact is, do you remember the movie Concussion? I believe that's what it's called, or some of these other dramatic roles that Will Smith has taken, these drama movies, true story type movies. Do you remember those movies? Probably not. That's because they're forgettable, they're not very interesting movies, and they're made for a crowd that will eat them up and enjoy them because they're not very expensive movies. You know, these true story movies aren't that expensive. The kind of crowd that eats them up will watch them and go, yeah, I'll eat that up. And the thing is, I saw those movies with crowds that eat them up. But the thing is about it, why that crowd, these movies kind of appealing to that crowd kind of sucks, is what you have to understand about those movies. No one talks about them. No one remembers them. And no one remembers them. So what's the point? You know, like, because even the crowd that was eating them up, telling you they were good movies when they came out, they're not talking about them now. They're not like, yeah, that's a good movie still. No, they probably don't even remember the movie. You would have to bring up the movie, and then they probably wouldn't know it by name. You probably have to describe, you know, that one dramatic role Will Smith was in. You wouldn't know the movie by name because it's not a good movie. And I'm not saying this movie's awful. What I am saying, this is just a generic, bland movie where Will Smith tries his hardest to give this dramatic performance that he's just not equipped for because he's not that kind of actor. And that's okay. You know, as an actor, you know, you're good at some things and you're not good at all things. You can't, you know, and that's okay, right? I don't want to see Joaquin Phoenix, right, in a Marvel movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a great actor do that, right? But that doesn't mean he's not a good actor. That doesn't mean he's an awful actor, right? It just means that he's not equipped for that kind of role, which is fine. You know, and I still love Joaquin Phoenix. And the other thing about it is this is clearly Will Smith's attempt to win Oscars. Why would this film be releasing in theaters and coming out in award season? Why? Because he wants to get that Oscar nom. And he's probably not going to get it. Because this is not the first time he's tried to get it. He's Will Smith. No one respects him on that level. No one respects Will Smith on the level to nominate him for Best Actor nominations. I would be very surprised if it happened. And if it did, I'm guessing Will paid a lot of money to get in that spot. I'm sorry. Because I don't buy him as these dramatic roles. Because again, it's his persona. It's also like Will Smith is just the Will Smith guy and should just be those roles and have fun with it. Own up to it, you know? Because I don't like The Rock. I don't like The Rock at all. I freaking hate The Rock. But what I'll tell you about The Rock is at least I can understand why he has an audience. Because The Rock plays into his audience. has fun with it. He's he's goofy. He plays around with it. He's like, I'm the Rock. He owns up to what he is and doesn't try to be something he isn't. And that's why he has an audience, I think. Will Smith is a little bit worse than that because he has an audience, but he's not. Now he's kind of not playing into his audience very well. He's trying to be something he's not when he should be goofy Will Smith in fun action movies and, just be that. I don't want to see him in crap like Suicide Squad playing a murderer because I can't buy Will Smith as a murderer. I don't want to see him give dramatic performances. I don't want to see him doing any of that. This is not who Will Smith is. And yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, you could say, what about the story? What about all these things that you're not talking about? The thing is, this movie hinges on Will Smith. It's not really about the story, right? This movie, I mean, of course, this movie has a story, but this movie stars Will Smith. It follows Will Smith majority of the movie. This movie hinges on Will Smith. If I can't buy Will Smith in this role, then I'm not going to buy the rest of the movie or the rest of the story. So it's kind of like, it's just a meh movie. I'm not going to remember it. You're not going to remember it. Even if because again, I know there's a crowd for these types of movies, but again, the crowd for these types of movies is going to watch it, go, I love it, eat it up. Are they going to want to watch it again? Probably not. And let me ask you something. Is it really a good movie if you don't remember it or ever want to watch it again? Probably not. Good movies you watch and remember, because that's what a good movie is. So, just saying.